Welcome to the Money Watch Show. I am Jill Schlesinger, and it is Thursday, April 13th, and I am joined by my collaborator, Mark Talercio. Good morning, Mark.
Buongiorno. As this runs, I will be sitting in Copenhagen having a delicious, hopefully, latte and a cardamom bun, because that's what they're known for.
How have you, I'm talking to you so near your departure date, and yet I know that you haven't done a lot of planning. Are you feeling okay just letting it roll and say, whatever happens, happens? I mean, this was thrown together fairly quickly, so I'm just checking in on that with you.
Yeah, very unlike me. Usually I'm a planner. I like to do some research and have some things penciled in, but for this one, I'm completely winging it, but Amanda has actually been doing some prep, so I'm kind of leaving it to her.
What's the weather supposed to be?
Not too great. Really, similar to what we've been experiencing lately, like 50s, you know?
Is this a child-friendly city, or are you just going to make Theo start drinking coffee as soon as you get there?
It's supposed to be a very child-friendly city with a lot of parks and outdoor space and stuff like that. We'll see.
Shocking that you're going someplace other than London or Paris or Italy. So I'm glad that you're doing that.
I think those are in the works for the end of the summer.
Oh, dear. Here we go. Listen, if you want to plan your vacation, I have a wonderful concierge. His name is Mark Talercio. He happens to also be a certified financial planner. So, you never know. You get a little financial advice as well as travel advice. And if we are doing our job correctly, we are trying to field as many of your questions about your financial choices as we can. The way you can ask us a question is to go to the website, JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and we get your note. And every so often, we'll do email episodes, but sometimes we'll just have you come on the air and join us live, which is so much fun. While you're on the website, don't forget, there's a couple things. There's some free things to do, and there's some places where you might have to cough up a few bucks. Free stuff is just all the stuff that's always on the website. So it's my TV appearances, it's the resources, it's the blog, it's other podcasts. So you can check that out. All that is free on JillOnMoney.com. We have a free weekly newsletter. Mark puts that together every single Friday. And if you're feeling like you want to take some of that tax refund and spend it, you can buy my book, The Great Money Reset. And why not subscribe to our news service? It's called Jill on Money Live, where we have quarterly live webinars, special content. We bring you on and have chats with us privately, sometimes with video, and maybe not if you don't want it so much, as well as other great content that is behind a paywall. And it costs a whopping $35 a year. Mark, how are the subscriptions going post our first webinar?
We definitely have some more rolling in. I think people want to see what exactly it is they missed out on.
Oh, they've got serious FOMO. So, we can satisfy your FOMO for $35 a year. Isn't that great? So if you do subscribe, you will have access to our Ed Slott webinar, which we did almost 2 weeks ago. So it was great. All right. Today, Mark, we've got someone who is a very interesting conversation. I'm excited because I read this email. There's a lot going on. This is Michael, who is on the line from the Southwest. Hi, Michael. How are you?
Hi, Jill. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Tell everybody listening why you have such a unique and interesting financial situation. Lay it out for us, Michael. How old are you?
I'm currently 44 years old.
Okay.
And I was a Border Patrol agent for over 10 years, but I left the Border Patrol in 2019. Basically, I have an income of about $5,000 per month from a triple net property. That's basically more than what I was going to get in pension from the Border Patrol. And I left the Border Patrol because I was very lonely, and that's a whole other story. But when COVID came around, I put my papers in to go back to the Border Patrol because I didn't know what was going to happen with COVID, even though I was only a year out from leaving. And they've taken their time to get me back in. And now we're coming back up on the time when they could have me come back in.
Okay. Well, let me ask you something. You have that income from the triple net income property, $5,000 a month. Does that cover your needs right now?
It does, yes. But I'm single and I don't have any kids.
So you're thinking like that may not be it for my lifetime. That may not be enough.
Yes, but then there is the rest of my inheritance, which I don't necessarily want to count on. But at the same time, I think it's substantial. So I'm kind of caught in this position where I can go back to the Border Patrol that will pay me about $92,000 a year, but I'm going to be out in the middle of nowhere, and my chances of meeting someone are going to be pretty small.
Right. And that's something that sounds like it's really important to you, that you would like to meet somebody. You do want to have kids, right?
Yes, I do. Absolutely. And that was kind of one of the reasons I left, because I've already been there and done that. I love that job, and it's I like it a lot. It's great for my personality, but it wasn't getting me to that goal of having a family and children. So
right.
I was like,
Well, you mentioned an inheritance. So you have parents that are still alive?
Yes, my mother is 75. My father's already passed away. My mother, after my father passed away, she bought one triple net property, and then she bought a second one. On the second one, I saved up a bunch of money, and I basically paid it off. Even though we had a low rate, I was like, why don't we? Because I was not going to be able to buy my own with my Border Patrol income. So paying off her second one freed up a lot of cash. And I was like, well, why am I'm risking my life. I'm making the same money I'm going to make in retirement. I've got 10 years in, so I'm vested. When I turn 57, the Border Patrol will basically give me about 18 to 20,000 a year in terms of pension. So I was like, okay, well, this, that's still pretty good. And in the meantime, now, if those leases do end up renewing, which they're in great positions, it's big franchises. There's no reason why they wouldn't. The combined total of that is about $23,000 to $25,000 per month.
Month?
Per month, yeah.
Oh my God!
After taxes, it comes out to about $260,000 a year.
Wow. Do you have siblings?
I have a half brother, but he inherited a different business from my mother or my parents, and so he's on that. He's doing that thing.
So all right. Do you live with her now, or do you live on your own?
I live on my own.
And how much do you pay in rent, you yourself, or do you own?
No, I had real estate that I sold to pay off the triple net. Mm-hmm. So I basically rent right now, and I'm kind of happy renting. I used to manage a lot of property. I was like, it takes a lot of effort at me.
It sounds like you really know what you're doing. I got to be honest with you. Like, this is pretty amazing. So, why go back to do the Border Patrol agent if you hated it? Can't you just get another job and manage the real estate and get another job? And I don't know, I presume you need health insurance, but so why not just do that? Couldn't you?
Not a lot of people in the professional world see a value in it. There isn't they're just not jumping up to they don't understand all the professionalism and all the experience and everything that went into that job. They may not want to pay.
So what? You don't need to pay. Why can't you do something where you're like, hey, I like it. I'll have fun. And I get it. What you're saying is that the marketplace doesn't value your skill set. That said, I honestly, all I want is to get you some health care and keep you out of trouble so that you can kind of manage this property with your mom and help her out. And, it seems to me that you're fine. This is a lot of money. Do you have other savings? What else is going on? Do you have a bank account? Do you have retirement accounts? What else is going on, Michael?
All right. So I've got from my TSP for the Border Patrol, I have on average about $250,000 in that. Mm-hmm. And then I've got about $50,000 in cash from other investments. However, I did lose money on the stock market from 2021 till now. Mm-hmm. So I have lost a decent amount of money on that. I have about $97,000 just sitting in physical hard cold cash. And let's see. And what I said when I said the $50,000, that included the Roth IRA and bank savings accounts. Yeah.
But let me be clear. I would very, very much hope that you could cut yourself a little slack here. You're in great shape. There's going to be a lot of money. You're not going to have any money problems, right? You know that, right?
Well, me and my mother were like, what happens if they don't renew the lease? There's a lot of writing in those.
Whatever. You could sell it. If you had to, you could sell it. And you're not going to sit on property that's empty for a long time. You're in a hot part of the country where there is a ton of action. But I really, really believe that you should be focused on trying to find a place for yourself where you can have a happy median. It doesn't have to be that, like you just said, like, I left this job. I was terribly lonely. I want to meet somebody. I want to have a family. Like, so why don't we put yourself in a position to get that accomplished? That to me is like a real life goal that should supersede the money. If you had, like, by the way, if you had no money and you said the only thing I can do is get this job as a Border Patrol agent, even though I hate it, I might even have the same advice. Like, I don't want you to hate it. Find a job where you can make less money and not hate it, and get your health insurance. And then, like, when are these leases actually up?
So one's up in 2028, the other's up in 2030.
Oh, come on, dude. We have a long time between now and then. You're going to be, like, married with kids by then.
I hope. I mean, yeah, I guess. It's tough finding Mrs. Right, you know? And
I've heard it took me a while. It took me 2 tries, you know, so it's tough. But look, honest to God, I truly believe that you are in a place where you could really change your life, and you can be very clear about the things that, you know, are important to you. I don't know. I really feel like that's something that you could do, and you should feel happy about that. That's a great decision. Mark, am I missing something? I really just don't want this guy to go back. I feel bad about it.
No, I agree. And he knows he's going to have, you know, a $20,000 a year pension down the line. So, yeah, I wouldn't go back to that job. It doesn't sound like it's a good fit for what he wants.
Totally no way. So I would love it if you could just give yourself permission. Please, can you? Please? What can we do to convince you?
You kind of have already. I've been slowly convincing myself. The only reason that, like, I passed all the tests so far to go back.
So what? You're going back to hell. Why? I could pass a test to go to hell. Doesn't mean I should go there. Don't go. Don't do this. You already have the information you need. It's one thing, by the way, if you were like, I've never done this, I want to try it. Like, you know, you don't want to do this. So please, I don't see why you would put yourself in that position. Like, I think I've told people to, like, grit it out and do stuff that they don't want to do. I am very clear that there are times where, like, you have to suck it up and do the right thing for your family, for your life, for the situation you've created. But to be clear, you're not in that situation, dude. You're in a very good situation. You're young. You have a lot of assets that are going to flow to you. You've got a mother who's healthy. Enjoy your mother. Go let your mother fix you up. I think that mothers probably could do a good job of fixing up. I got to be honest with you. And go get a job. Go get a regular job. Even if it's a dopey job that you're like, it's dopey. Who cares? Go someplace where you're going to meet people. That is where I am. I want you to enjoy that, and I want you to feel like you're entitled to that. You're very lucky, really. You can have the choice of not doing something you hate. Thank God. And so what? You have 10 years sunk in there. It's going to, you know, you'll get a pension. That'll be nice. And there's a ton of income. You will either have a ton of income from these properties. And by the way, if they don't renew their lease, big deal. What if you just made less money? Instead of 23 to 25 grand, maybe it was 20 grand a month. Whatever. Who cares? It's a ton of money. The asset is worth a lot. And you are entitled to make a decision based on the fact that your mom made some smart purchases and you've helped her.
That's what I've been thinking a lot. It's just that we're coming to the reason it's getting so serious now is because we're coming to that point where the Border Patrol is going to eventually call.
I changed my mind. Goodbye.
Yeah, that's what I was leaning that way anyway. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Any other really important things that we need to talk about with Michael?
Is all this stuff papered up?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Does your mom have all of her estate documents done? Is this half-brother going to come sniffing around and saying, I want this property when your mom dies?
No, it's all on paper in an irrevocable trust.
Perfect. Okay, I'm done with you. Do not go back. I'm done with you. Okay. Go find yourself a nice partner in life and go make a family and let us know how it goes, okay?
All right. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Mark.
Mark, I am not a dream crusher today. I am a dream fulfiller. And if you have, by the way, I really don't like it when people are in places where they're like, I know I hate this job. So if you have that kind of situation where you feel somewhat trapped or you're not giving yourself permission to consider the alternatives, we would love to hear from you. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button and write us a note. Just say, I need some help. I need a nudge. I need a kick in the butt. I need a hug, or I need someone to kind of be a bit of a coach. I will encourage you to make a choice that is right for you. That's what I'm going to say. It's not my choice to make. It's your choice to make. But if you're really feeling a little trapped, gosh, I feel like we can help people in that situation. We don't want you in a bind. So do that. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and while you're there, you can buy the book, you can subscribe to Jill on Money Live, you can sign up for their free weekly newsletter. We got all that good stuff. All right, Mark Talercio is the co-host and executive producer of the show. Karen Kranick is our web queen. We're distributed by Paramount Global. We drop our episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. Put your hands metaphorically on someone's back and don't go back to jobs that you know you hate, especially if you can afford not to do that. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you next week.